Almost forgot my webcam. Okay, we need to put on the webcam. What's going on, guys? Set up another video. And today we're doing a new video. Today we're going to be doing a video. It's going to be about the Chicago Bulls. If you know, last time I did a quiz saying whatever team it picks, I will have to buy their hat and make a whole video about them. So today we're going to be doing that. And if you didn't know that, what was I? So basically, if you, something that we're going to be looking at is the Chicago Bulls pick. I hope they get Otto Porter Jr. somehow, because if that pick, I just hope they would get him. It would probably not be possible, but chances. Let's give the chances. Yeah. So if you didn't know, I actually did something cool on my head. Let me show you guys. How long? So if you guys could see it, it's right over here. It's right over here. So basically, you guys could see it. It's actually pretty cool. So today we're gonna be doing it because I'm watching a bit of videos about it. So who was the first Bull to win MVP? Who was the Rookie of the Year? Michael Jordan. Who was the Defensive Player? Once again, MJ. Who was the Bulls Sixth Man of the Year? Tony Kukoc. Who was the Bulls Most Improved Player? Jimmy Butler. Who was the Coach of the Year? John Curry. Who was the Bulls all-time leading scorer? MJ. Who was the Bulls all-time rebounder? MJ. Who is the Bulls all-time leader in assists? MJ. Who is the Bulls all-time leader in steals? MJ. Who is the Bulls all-time leader in three-pointers made? Kirk Hinrich. Who is the Bulls most points averaged by a Bull? Michael Jordan. Who is the most rebounds averaged by a player or receiver? Dennis. I don't know. Is it Dennis? I'm not sure. Yes, it's Dennis. Wait, most assists averaged by a player? It's Guy Rogers. Who's the most steals averaged by a player? It's Michael Jordan. Most blocks averaged by a player? It's I'm gonna guess Art Skim. Yes, let's go. How many championships have they won? 6. How many times have they made it to the finals? 6. How many All-Star selections have they had? 53. Who was to be selected? Yes. That feels good. I got 20 out of 20. That's a Bulls fan there. Bulls fan. Oh, yes. So we got right 20 out of 20 on the quiz by Jimmy G Buckets. And yeah. So basically what I want to talk about is some of the chances we have. As you know, we did have one of the worst off seasons last year, losing Jimmy Buckets, Dwayne Wade, Rajon Rondo, Nika Mortic, getting. And now we have a lot of back players that get a lot, like Brook Lopez. I hate you. And let's see, Delco and this guy. I don't know why he gets the second most. He's 10 mil, and he had a streak of no points, and he gets 4 points per game in his career. He's worse than Anthony Bennett. But yeah, let's just be stupid and give him 10 mil. But today we're gonna be looking at Bulls draft. So 2018, obviously, we're going to look at that. Okay, so draft lottery. That picks 2018. Where's the video? Where's it? NBA draft. Oh my god. Draft 15th. Let's see, Chicago. Okay, so I think, no, this is the 27th playing draft, isn't it? This says drafts.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is a fact.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't have it, so that's all good. Good. Wait. What is this? Why is the guy so giant? Why is he there?
Pick number 14 will be made by
Wait, that's
the Denver Nuggets.
Okay, this is
Denver's just the 7th team in NBA history to miss the playoffs despite winning 46
why
games.
The 13th pick belongs to
I know.
the LA Clippers.
Despite trading away Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, the Clippers won 42 games for their 7th straight winning season.
Picking 12th will be the LA Clippers.
This pick goes to the Clippers since the Pistons
What?
pick was not in the top 3.
They're both the same people.
The 11th pick in the draft will go to the Charlotte Hornets.
Mitch Kupchak takes over as Charlotte's general manager and president of basketball operations. He won 4 titles with the Lakers as their lead executive.
And pick number 10 will be made by the Philadelphia 76ers.
This was originally the Lakers pick, folks, but due to multiple trades, it will go to Philadelphia. Boston, who could have received this pick if it had landed between 2 and 5, or actually 2 and 3, will now likely receive the Kings' 2019 first-round pick.
The 9th pick in the draft goes to the New York Knicks.
New York's last 2 lottery picks, Kristaps Porzingis and Frank Ntilikina, both had played professionally in Europe prior to their selection.
The 8th pick will be made by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This selection was originally Brooklyn's, but was acquired by the Cavaliers when they traded Kyrie Irving to the Celtics last summer. Things holding to form.
The 7th pick belongs to the Chicago Bulls.
That means that the Sacramento Kings, folks, have jumped into the top 3. De'Aaron Fox said his smile is his good luck charm.
Pick number 6 goes to the Orlando Magic.
The Magic are better than
Magic will be
us.
celebrating their 30th NBA season.
The 5th pick will be made by the Dallas Mavericks.
That means that the Atlanta Hawks have moved into the top 3,
That's
folks.
creepy.
And the 4th pick in the 2018 NBA draft goes to the Memphis Grizzlies.
So the Grizzlies have fallen out of the top 3.
So, wait,
The 3rd pick in this year's draft goes to the Atlanta Hawks. The 2nd pick will be made by the Sacramento Kings. And that means that the number 1 pick in the 2018 NBA draft goes to the Phoenix Suns.
So barring a trade, this will be the Suns' first number 1 overall pick in franchise history. Woj, a big night for that rebuilding franchise that won only 21 games last year.
Huge for Phoenix, and now for them,
they deserve
they
it, Bob. It's sad to see that. Rest in peace,
hired
Chicago.
Igor Kokoskov, who is Luka Doncic's Slovenian national coach. He'll have great intel on him. And more importantly, they have DeAndre Ayton, who they have scouted extensively in their backyard, University of Arizona. Their owner's an Arizona guy. They have a great opportunity with not just that pick, but 3 in the first 31 to remake their franchise.
Yeah, great chance to make a move up in the Western Conference.
Lottery. Let's talk about Bulls 2018. We need to talk about that. should the Bulls pick at? I want to watch this. Like the Bulls. This is right now the most important.
Your view of Verano was well loved, but now it's time to move on up.
Oh my god.
What is good, you guys, man? Today I will be sharing with you my top 10 NBA draft picks for this 2018 NBA draft coming soon and after this NBA Finals. So make sure you stay tuned, and also make sure to comment down below who you think is going to be the #1 overall pick, and even, put down the rest of your top. Have a very good rookie year with that team. And if they don't get a point guard, Orlando as a franchise, I'm just done with them. In my opinion, I think Orlando will draft Trae Young at number 6. Now, this goes to pick number 7, which is the Chicago Bulls. They have a good point guard in Chris Dunn, young point guard. Zach LaVine. I don't know who their 3-man is, or if they have a 3-man, but I'm sure this will be the kind of time they want to draft a 3-man. Now, they got Lauren, the power forward that averaged like 14 and 8. He played really well. Sorry, I don't remember your name, bro. But they have him at power forward and Robin Lopez at center. So I think they need a center or a small forward. And let me tell you who I think they're going to draft. Now, I think there's 2 options. Jaren Jackson is still on the board from Michigan State, and Wendell Carter Jr. from Duke is available. So I think it's going to be between one of those 2 guys to complement their power forward they got last year, who played phenomenal. And I think Wendell Carter out of Duke for that number 8 pick. Going to Duke, they need a big man to stand next to the power forward. They have good other young pieces, and he fits perfectly into that team. Now that leads to the Cavs at number.
Okay, so Wendell Carter Jr. Let's see what. I'm gonna spell his name wrong. Wendell Carter. I know who Wendell Carter Jr. is. I just want to see his stats. I feel like it's gonna be. So let's see what he does good. Okay, so he has 13 points per game. 13 points. Wait, is that rebounds? Okay, I guess that's rebounds. Okay, that's actually good. Is he a small forward? Position 4. Where's up? There's power forward and small forward. You can't say it's a forward. Michigan. Okay, so I just have to check one more thing. When is the NBA draft? Because I want to put that on my calendar. Oh God, no! It's June 21st. I have to put that on my calendar. NBA draft. But okay, it does kind of. So another thing, and I want to watch.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcast.
Okay, so the 28. Okay, we should then go. I know this is a podcast. Okay, so let's see.
Well, judging by the mentions I've been seeing on my personal Twitter account, Bulls fans really want the team to draft Michael Porter Jr. Here's the roadmap on how that happens. First of all, Phoenix has the top pick.
Hey, unless you go Bulls fan.
They'll go with the Arizona product, DeAndre Ayton, 7'1", NBA-ready body, soft touch, a lock at number 1. As for the second pick, that goes to the Memphis Grizzlies. They're going to go with the Slovenian guard, Luka Doncic, gives them a playmaker to go with Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. The next pick goes to the Dallas Mavericks. They will waste no time at all. Mark Cuban runs to the podium, gives them a low post scorer in Marvin Bagley III. The Atlanta Hawks, they're your classic donut team. They have a big hole in the middle. So they're going to go with the modern-day stretch 5. That's Michigan State's Jaren Jackson Jr. He led the Big Ten in block shots, also has 3-point shooting range. Here's the key to the scenario to get Porter Jr. to the Bulls. Orlando has no point guard. They traded Elfrid Payton to Phoenix. They have DJ Augustine and Shelvin Mack as the only point guards on the roster. I think Colin Sexton, the Alabama star, is going to look great in individual team workouts. I think Orlando invests the number 5 pick in him, which means the Bulls will waste no time in taking 6'10" Michael Porter Jr. to be their small forward of the future. Remember, Porter Jr. was the top pick going into the season before he had the back injury. Sacramento is next, and we know the Kings get everything wrong. They're going to take Mo Bamba, who most likely will be a bust in the NBA. They took Willie Cauley.
just want to do that. I'm just gonna do something. Chicago. Let's just search up Chicago Bulls. Let's just search Chicago. Subscribe. They're on that now. We need a Chicago Bulls status. 2 days ago, Duncan got 1,000 Okay, so that's the reason I was looking at NBA draft. So I'm gonna watch one more draft video, and then we're gonna actually go on and see what they should look for free agency. I know this is maybe a boring video for a lot of people, so. Bulls should draft. Okay, this will be the final video.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts.
Let's just go to the free agency. Who is in? Who is out?
John Paxson made it very clear most of the players on this season's roster will be back next year. If you look at the names, we don't have Lauri Markkanen and Chris Dunn on here. They'll obviously be on the team next season. Same story for Zach LaVine. They might have trouble agreeing on the years and the dollars, but somehow they'll get a contract done. Zach will return. Same story for Robin Lopez. He's due $14.3 million for next season. Hard to move that kind of contract. Maybe he'll be a trade candidate at midseason. John Paxson also said Chris Dunn's your starting point guard. Cameron Payne is your backup, so he will return as well. And I like David Nwaba. Intangibles that he brings, very valuable to a rebuilding team. Maybe a 3-year contract around $15 million. So if you bring back Nwaba, you got Denzel Valentine, and maybe you draft Mikal Bridges from Villanova. Who's going to be out? Well, that could be Justin Holiday. They like his veteran presence. He might be useful to a contending team as a shooter off the bench. Jaren Grant could be moving on as well because he's now the third-string point guard. I don't think he's going to be too happy with that. And as for some of the defense guys, Noah Vonleh, Sean Kilpatrick, Paul Zipser, there's no room at the end. They'll have to go elsewhere. So when you're looking at the Bulls roster for 2018-19, very similar to what we had this year.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's not actually that bad. I thought it would be even worse. Worse. No, worst. What is this? Isaiah signing coming?
As the NBA regular season has now officially came to an end, the off-season rumors are already going around. Isaiah Thomas is expected to sign a 2-year, $16 million contract with the Chicago Bulls. Now, he underperformed this year, at least to his standards, and compared to last year, so that's why he gets a contract like this, but he definitely can return to old Isaiah Thomas form and earn a bigger contract after those 2 years. I don't know how far the Bulls will go. They will have a relatively high draft pick as they were a bottom 5 team in the NBA, not top 5, but they will have some young talent also that he could really help. Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, Chris Dunn, if they can all stay healthy and just keep going and keep improving, then they could be a very good team come a few years, because that Jimmy Butler trade, it seemed one-sided at first, but now it's turned to shape out as maybe a good move for them going into the future. Jimmy Butler's definitely better than the players that they got, but it looks like a good move going into the future. And with Isaiah Thomas, we don't know if he's going to start or come off the bench. I'm guessing they'll start him because he really doesn't want to come off the bench. He even said that he's not a 6-man. But the Bulls do have a point guard and shooting guard, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Now, this, of course, is not official because none of those things can be official until after the NBA Finals. The only real problem here would be defense. They'd have all the scoring they need, but there's almost no defense on this Bulls team last year with Zach LaVine especially, and Isaiah Thomas was ranked the worst defender in the NBA based on the stats, what they showed. But this would be a good boost for scoring, no doubt, for this Bulls team. If you're a Bulls fan, comment below what you would think about this. Would you want him to come into your team, or do you just think the team should rebuild in other ways, like with young talent and the draft? And if you're a...
You lose defense. You use a lot of defense. It's kind of a loss, but a good. I need to put these 2 on the calendar. I'm gonna watch one more video about the free agency.
John.
I think free agency is more. Hold on. Okay, so we're just gonna watch this, and I think I may make episode 2 of this, and actually, yeah, and then because I really want to. Okay, so I'm gonna watch this and then
Switching gears from the Paxton's presser, just a couple things that for free agency. You know, there's some centers in free agency. There's a couple threes in free agency that, you know, we're interested in. I'm just going to throw out a couple.
hopefully crispy flakes.
Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be predicting the Chicago Bulls 2018 offseason. Tonight we have the Cavs and the Raptors playing. This is being recorded before the Raptors and Cavs game. I think there's also the Warriors and Pelicans game. Tonight I'm going to definitely tune in, but I'm not too excited about these second round matchups. Only thing I am excited about is Brad Stevens versus the 76ers, and then you have LeBron versus the freaking Raptors once again. And can the Raptors actually do it this time? That's going to be interesting to see. And then the other Eastern Conference matchup, it's slipping at the other Western Conference matchup with Rockets and Jazz. Not too interested in that one. I think the Rockets will easily win that one. And then, yeah, so basically excited for the conference finals this year. I'm hoping we see hopefully the Raptors dethrone the Cavs. That would be really awesome. Just my personal opinion. I want to see a definitely different finals this year, and of course I want the Rockets to dethrone the Warriors this year, because the Rockets are going to have to be the team that does it. The Pelicans probably won't be able to do it. But we are doing the Chicago Bulls offseason. Of course, 2K start today is still broken, so of course that is why the record is not accurate. I wish they would fix it, but I'm not sure when they plan on doing that. We're doing a question of the day as well. And yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. We're so close to 1,700 subscribers, guys, so if you have not subscribed, help me out and click that subscribe button. It would mean the world. And the Bulls are probably going to have the 5th or the 6th pick this year, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the 5th pick from whatever team has it, because to make this video more accurate, so I'm going to turn trade override on real quick and then get the 5th pick, because we have the 9th pick right now, and that's not very accurate. So let's see what we can get at the 5th pick. Orlando's going to have to take that. All right, so now let's turn trade override off, and then that'll be all fixed. So now when we look at this team, what does this team really need to get done this offseason? They're going to have quite a bit of cap space. Of course, they have Robin Lopez. They have Amir Astiq's contract now, which isn't going to help them very much. You definitely still kind of want to tank a little bit, and then you want to bring back Zach LaVine. I think you definitely want to sign Zach LaVine back, and then other than that, guys, they kind of have some nice cap space to work with. Of course, they could probably trade Felicio, maybe, and they could trade Robin Lopez. It just depends. Cap holds, not too bad. Maybe Noah Vonleh's contract can get out of here, but let's go ahead. Jump in this NBA draft. I know exactly who I want to fill out the 3 position, but I'm not sure if he'll fall to the 3 position. I seriously doubt it. So let's go to the next user pick and see if he's to the Chicago Bulls, and I think the Bulls can pick him up. So Michael Porter Jr., welcome to the Chicago Bulls. He's going to be playing next to Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, Lauri Markkanen, and Robin Lopez. That's going to be a nice little lineup for the Bulls start out the next season. So definitely think the Bulls would be going in the right direction if they did take Michael Porter Jr. Hopefully he can stay healthy. His injuries are not too much of a concern, and I think he'll be all right. And then we had the 14th pick as well. I didn't really pay attention, but I guess we got Gilgeous-Alexander. I did not pay attention, and I did not know we had the 14th pick. I would have definitely made that pick, but oh well. Paul George declines, Kevin Durant declines, you know, same old stuff. And let's go into free agency. Qualifying offers definitely on Zach LaVine. David Nwaba, not as important, but I'll go ahead. Actually, I'm not going to offer it. So let's just go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and renounce David Nwaba. And then I'll wait for someone to throw an offer at Zach LaVine, and I will probably match. And we got Bobby Portis. We got Chris Dunn, Michael Porter Jr., Robin Lopez. So let's see. We got about 26 million cap space. This team is looking like. So we got Chris Dunn at the point guard position. Definitely all right with that. Jerian Grant and Gilgeous-Alexander now. Cameron Payne. You got Justin Holiday as a backup shooting guard, or Sean Kilpatrick. You got your backup small forwards. You have your power forwards, and you have Robin Lopez. So, I mean, yes, you could use a better center. So let's see if maybe we could get a better center out here. What could the Bulls really do this offseason? What are their limits, basically? So I mean, I think they'll most likely stick with Robin Lopez for his last year of his deal and still tank a little bit. So I'm not going to expecting to sign anyone too crazy. And I don't think I'm going to be signing anyone too crazy, actually. I don't think the Bulls will be very aggressive in free agency. I mean, they already kind of have a nice young team. They might re-sign Bobby Portis. I'm not sure if they will. Let's see, what is he looking like? We'll re-sign Robin Lopez. Will re-sign for a little bit of money. But
VPN, complicated.